Welcome to the podcast. Now that I'm engaged, how do I get married? I'm your host, Kevin Dennis.
And I'm August Yocher, co-host and brand manager at Fantasy Sound Event Services.
In addition to leading the charge at Wedding IQ, I also run Fantasy Sound Event Services, a lighting and entertainment company based in Livermore, California, that I founded over 35 years ago.
Each week on this podcast, we'll explore a new corner of wedding planning so you can prepare for your I-dos without the stress.
From budgeting to booking vendors to the day of drama.
Let's talk smart wedding planning.
All right, folks, welcome to another episode of Now That I'm Engaged, How Do I Get Married? And we're with Nadine Bozeman. She's with the Secrets of Bridal Seamstress Podcast and membership. And she's going to be talking to us today what to know before you shop for a gown.
Yes.
Which is all good stuff because I know I've not bought a wedding dress. And I know so far August has not bought a wedding dress.
And I don't think we've had this topic yet.
No, I don't think so
like
either.
Nothing wedding dress, which is so surprising, right? Like we're 60 something episodes in, but I'm really glad that we're finally talking about it.
And there's so many different avenues that we could take about wedding.
I know.
But this is a good one to start with. Yeah.
All right. So before we start, though, Nadine, can you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and how we got you here today?
Yeah. So I started my business, Sweet Francis Sewing Co. here in the Pacific Northwest. I'm a bridal seamstress. So that means once you purchase your dress, you want to take it to a tailor or a seamstress that can custom fit the gown to you. And that's what really, takes the dress to the next level so that you're not just wearing something that's too long or too big in some places, but it really fits you beautifully. And when you look at these photos of couples that have like beautiful wedding pictures, the dress did not come that way. Even if the dress is ordered, it needs to be fitted to your body. So that's what I get to do every day. I work with brides. I love working with brides. I love working with couples and talking about weddings all the time. And then I also work with bridal seamstresses around the country and in English speaking countries around the world to help them build their own bridal alterations business. So
wow.
I love this topic. Yes. Yeah.
All right. So I'm imagining when you first look at a wedding photo, you're immediately looking at the dress to make sure it's...
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yes. And if it's done correctly, you can't even tell that anything was altered, right? The dress would look just like it wasn't even touched. Yeah.
Like a glove.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So again, August and I have never bought a wedding dress. So where do we even begin?
Yeah. Well, I think you kind of want to think about the timeline. Okay, you get engaged. You're thinking of the date of your wedding, and before you start shopping, you don't need to know what style you want or like what color or what design you want, because if you go to bridal shops, the stylists know how to pick the right dresses for you, right? Like they know more about bridal fashion than you do, even if you have like a totally poppin' Pinterest board. Do brides still use Pinterest, or is that like not a thing anymore?
Yes.
It's still a thing.
Still very big, yeah.
If you have a full Pinterest board, bridal stylists they know how to take care of you, and they know how to give you gowns that are probably beyond your own imagination. So what you do want to focus on is think about how you want to feel on your wedding day, or what is your wedding day vibe, right? So some brides want to feel like, I want to feel super sexy. Like this is my like coming out stage. Like I want to be the star of the show. Other brides want to feel timeless, classic. Maybe you just want to feel beautiful. And that is, for me, it's different than feeling sexy, right? Or maybe you want to have more of like a whimsical, playful feel. If you're getting married at Disney World, the gown should have a different feel than if you're getting married in Vegas or whatever. So just think about, how do you want to feel on the wedding day? Because that's something that nobody can tell you, only you know, right? And if you have that really strong sense of how you want to feel, you won't feel like you're playing dress up. I think that's what comes up a lot with brides is they put on like a formal dress. We don't wear formal wear every day. So you put on this like gorgeous gown and then you're like, I feel like I'm playing dress up. But if it matches the vibe that you want, right? And if it really plays into that vision that you have for your wedding day, you're not going to feel like you're playing make believe. It's going to feel like it fits into your wedding day theme. So just think about the vibe of your wedding and how do you want to feel, and have that be like your North Star when you're trying on all these dresses. So you might put on a ball gown, or you might put on this like mermaid style. It doesn't matter about the style, but it matters about how you feel and how you're able to describe that feeling to people shopping with you, right? So just come into
Yeah.
the experience with a vibe, right?
The
That's
only the only thing I can add to that is you should have a dress that bustles pretty easily. So, and that's is someone that has bustled more than my fair share of dress, because I once had a dress, and this sounds crazy, but we once had a dress that had 37 little
Oh, no.
yeah, little buttons that we had to go, and it was because I don't know if it's a mermaid style, but it was very form fitting with a light little flow behind it, and we had
Oh.
to take everything up and snap it, and we'd get all the way around and realize we missed the first, like, and it was undo, undo, and do it.
No!
It was the hardest wedding dress I've ever been a part of, the bustling of. And then there's
Oh,
the ones that you just take the one and hook on the
yeah,
back, but those
I
tend
love
to break.
those.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
those tend to break and not make it. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I think
I derailed the podcast already with
start over. No, hopefully your seamstress will help you because I think about that too, where it's like, hey, do you want to be bustling all night, or do you just want to get this like up and get ready for your picture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So I would say come in with a vibe and then an open mind, because bridal stylists are so good at being like, oh, you want a ball gown? Let me put on this fit and flare and blow your mind. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
they know how to get you outside your comfort zone. And then think about your timeline too.
Mhm.
We've Earlier, you and I had talked about how this year there seems to be a trend of like kind of some last minute plans coming together,
Yep.
right? And so you want to consider, if you are going to be ordering a new dress or purchasing a new gown as opposed to buying consignment, you're going to have to order your dress. And some of you don't know that it takes like 6 to 9 months for this dress.
Really?
Yes. So say if you're getting married, in September, you want to start shopping before January. You know what I'm saying? So that that dress is ordered, because it's going to have to come in, and then you want your bridal alterations to start at least 3 months before the wedding date. So
Mhm.
ordering your dress, this timeline starts so much earlier than some brides consider. So
Mhm.
think about that like earlier than you think. Some stores do sell, their sample gowns or their floor models. And a lot of times stores will have like twice a year these big sample sales to
Mhm.
clear the floor and make
And
room
get the
for
new
some brand
ones.
new gowns. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you can get up in those sales, that would be ideal. But really give yourself a cushion with that timeline, so that say if production is running behind or there's something wrong with the shipping, that you have that peace of mind that it's on its way and it's going to make it in time. So once you get the ring, it's like you book your venue and then get that dress.
Wow, I didn't realize it was so early. That's crazy.
Yes. Yeah, and I think a lot of people are realizing that this year, because I have so many last minute brides requesting alterations because they didn't realize it took so long to order the dress, and then the dress is
Mhm.
coming in late and all the things. So
Mm.
start the shopping for the gown earlier than you think. And also, like, feel free to interrupt me with your questions that come
I
That's
up.
okay.
got one for you. Yeah.
If you want to talk about
Well,
buttons, we can do that too. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, especially because obviously, most couples and brides, this is their first time coming in. Like, how can they avoid feeling overwhelmed? Because I know already it's like, wow, we have to start so early, and there's so many different styles, and they're trying to figure out what their vibe is. How can they avoid feeling
Oh,
stressed out?
this is such a good question. And there is a point probably where like every dress looks the same and you just feel like a white blank.
Yeah.
It's like it all feels the same. Probably by telling yourself it's okay to buy your dress at the first store. I
Oh.
think
Mhm.
there's this trend. I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it. I've heard complaints from wedding store
Mm.
owners about this trend, that it's on TikTok, where like you show all the dresses that you did not say yes to, you
Yes,
know?
I've seen that. I've seen
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. And so there's kind of this pressure to, if you say yes to at the first store, you're going to miss out on all these other styles, or what could possibly be the better option. And sometimes that's true, but a lot of times that's just putting more pressure on you to get in more dresses and make more
Yeah.
decisions. And if you feel good in one dress, it matches that wedding day vibe, it matches your budget or your timeline, say yes at the first store.
You know what's
You know?
so funny is one of our segments we have on the podcast is Now That I'm Engaged, How Can I Help Others? Where we interview couples who just got married and their process.
Oh, yeah,
And the
yeah.
first time we did it was with my friend Meg. And when she picked out her wedding dress, we were asking her some questions about the dress selection process. And it's so funny. She said the exact same thing. She was like, don't overthink it. If you like the dress, get it. If you
Yes.
feel pretty in it, just get it. Because like you're just gonna get more stressed out. And yeah, like so many options. Like you're probably like, oh my God, like how do I choose? Or, maybe there's
Absolutely.
that like scarcity mentality and whatnot.
Yeah.
But if you feel good, just go for it.
Right. Like I can find this cheaper somewhere else, or I can find a better style, or I
Yeah.
can be better instead of just like enjoying the moment for what it is, and you look good and you feel good and it's there. And also consider, like, if your stylist did a great job picking out a dress for you, you might
Yeah.
have that same connection with the next store, with the next stylist. You know what I mean? And like that's something to celebrate too, to honor their time. So I would give yourself the freedom to say yes at the first store. And that's also something to celebrate.
I love
Yeah,
that.
then it's check, we're done. Like,
Yeah.
We'll go to lunch. Okay, celebrate. And okay, get the dress
Yeah.
ordered. Yes.
Say yes to the dress and move on.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So, okay, we got your vibe, we got your timeline, we got the permission slip to say yes at the first stop.
Yes.
well, what about narrowing down the dress styles when there's so many options? Like, how do you? I know you said venue should be booked before you're
Mhm.
doing that. You got a ring.
Yeah.
Then how do you narrow down the style?
I mean, you kind of don't know until you put dresses on. I remember when I was
Oh.
engaged,
Mm.
I thought that I wanted to wear a ball gown because I wanted to feel like a princess, obviously, but I'm 5'2". So as soon as I put on this ball gown, I was like, I look like a cupcake. Like it was not,
Like you're being swallowed by it. Yeah.
it was like,
Engulfed.
I look like a cartoon. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I ended up with a pretty simple A-line that I would
Mhm.
not have picked out. It would not have been on my vision board. But and even like really fitted dresses, I just wanted to, I think, look taller than I really was. I mean, that
Mm.
wasn't my vibe word, but
Mhm.
at the end of the day, I wanted to look tall. And these other dresses were making me look so short. So you kind of don't know until you put the dresses on. So having a bridal stylist, that's their job, is they are trained to pick out gowns that are outside your comfort zone just enough, so that you have like a scope of all the different styles. And you'll know as soon as you put a dress on, like, I literally don't even want to go out and show people this dress because, like, no, or like, oh my gosh, something about it. I don't know. And I
Mhm.
think if very like working with brides every day, it is uncommon to hear that brides ended up purchasing the dress that they thought they were going to purchase. They go
Mm.
in,
I've heard that too.
yeah, they go in with these pictures like, I want this one. Do you have this style number? And they
Mhm.
put the dress on and they're like, ooh, what else you got? So an open mind is probably the best way to go into
Mm.
this. And I mean, you can certainly, if you know that you don't want any illusion, like you don't want any, like anything to look bare, you can say that to your stylist, like
Right, right.
everything's, or whatever, like you can have parameters, but having an open mind is a gift to yourself and also to your bridal stylist because it lets them play more. And then it makes the appointment a little more fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can take the pressure off yourself from having to make that decision before you start shopping. Cause that's,
Mhm.
again, we're trying to make this stress free.
Want to be a guest on the podcast? Whether you're a writing professional with insights to share or a couple who recently said I do, we'd love to have you on the pod. Come share your experience, your advice, and your story to help future couples on their journey. Apply to be a guest and join us behind the mic. Find more information at podcast.fantasysound.com. Yeah. So do you feel like that happens a lot where like, couples are just getting inundated with social media pictures and Pinterest pictures and like do you feel like that hurts the process a little bit when brides are like researching what type of dress they
Yeah.
want?
Yeah. I mean, it's a gift and a curse, right? Because it's
Yeah.
so fun. Again, I was engaged in 2011, so I
Mhm.
literally had like magazines. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
the photos were limited to what I could purchase at Barnes and Noble. And I think, now we have so many options, but then there's also so much pressure because every body is different. So you
Yeah.
see a model
Right.
wearing this style dress and it's already, I think, just I mean, I hate shopping. I hate going in a dressing room. I love that we live in the age of online shopping where it's like stuff can get delivered. I can try it on at home. I don't have to be in a, super
Yeah.
bright dressing or whatever. So imagine that when you are now shopping for like one of the most important outfits of your life, and you have this vision of how these styles should look on this body type, but you have this other body type.
Mhm.
And, you know, looking at the pictures can be so fun to get you excited, but then it kind of sets you up for unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
So that's why I just say like having an open mind and being willing to try on these different styles that you wouldn't have picked for yourself, but your bridal stylist is like, oh, I know what is going to highlight your shoulders because that's one of your best features. Or like you feel so good about like this part of your body, so this style gown is going to help highlight that. You know, because I think when we get so fixated on how we think we should look in a dress or like what we think we're going to end up with, that's what can lead to more disappointment, speaking from
Mhm.
experience.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. So,
Yeah. I think another disappointment that comes up is the price. Okay.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh. So when you're talking with these couples, I'd love to hear from you. You're interviewing couples that they're going through a live engagement, like in real time. What are their budgets for like the attire piece?
oh. Because
Yeah.
I bet you they focus more on the reception and the party and
Mhm.
all that other part, but not the ancillary stuff that comes along with it. That
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So say if you say, in your budget line, you have, okay, $5,000. That might seem like a lot for some listeners. That might seem like, oh, a median range for some listeners, but say if you have $5,000 set aside for your gown, you want to consider, in addition to the dress, you want to consider the tax that'll be added,
Mhm.
right? Tax is pretty steep when you're talking about something that's a few $1,000s, right?
yeah,
Your accessories. So do you want a veil? Veils run between like $300 to $600 on
Yeah.
average, right? And if you want any other kind of hair pieces or jewelry, and your alterations, the cost of alterations doesn't depend on the cost of your dress. It has to do with the amount of work that's done.
that makes sense.
So, yeah. So when you're purchasing a dress, you are walking into a retail experience, right? So the store owner goes to bridal market. They work with designers. They buy gowns that work specifically with their own collection, and they buy it at what's called market cost, and then they sell the dresses at their own store in a way that makes sense for their local demographics, so that
Right.
they're in fair competition, with other stores, and that they can pay their bills, right? So you are going into a retail experience that is really similar to any other retail experience whenever you
Yeah,
buy another product. When you walk into the alterations department or take it to your local seamstress, now you're walking into a service based industry with American wages, right?
yeah,
So this gown that you purchased, it was most likely made overseas. So the
hmm
store owner was able to purchase it at one price point and then change the price to, make a profit. And your service provider, as your seamstress or yeah, wherever you go for your alterations, they are charging like local wages for themselves, right? So you're going to be paying an hourly rate that is not at all comparable to the hourly rate of the people who made the dress.
that
Is this
makes
making
sense.
sense?
No,
Yes.
yeah,
No,
I'm sure.
Oh,
absolutely.
so
And
I
if
think
someone,
that's kind of where some of the sticker shock comes in, because
yeah,
some brides are like, "Well, I paid $3,000 for this dress and now I have to pay $1,500 in alterations." It's because of the hourly rate wages that your seamstress needs to be paid fairly in America.
yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I
well,
mean?
no, and it's time is money. It's like
Right.
anything you do. So if it's a lot of alterations, it's going to cost more, and if it's not
Yes.
that much, it's going to cost a whole lot less. So
Right, right. And
you
it
know,
really
so
doesn't have anything to do with the cost of the gown itself. So
Yeah.
things to look out for, if you have, you want to count the layers in your hem, because we do
oh
Mm.
charge by layer. So, if you have like three linings and then a bunch of those layers of tulle, and then there's a final top layer of lace, kind of count those up. And for lace hems, a bridal seamstress will remove that like beautiful applique and then sew it on top again at the right length. So it takes
Wow.
hours, Beading is also pretty
Oh,
time
yeah. Wow.
consuming because you
Yeah.
can't make any shortcuts with the beads. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then also when you think about like those super classic simple gowns that like don't have anything on them, like it's just like Mikado satin or like crispy clean gowns, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
so careful with those because there's like no room for error. You can't hide
Oh,
under lace, you can't hide under like a cluster of beads. It's like everything is on full display. So there's that could be more expensive than you think just because there's zero room for error and the work has to be so precise with those, classic clean gowns. Um if you're really concerned about like, I don't know what my budget should be, because it does vary depending on where you are on the country, right? So
yeah.
it's
That
Yeah,
not
makes
because I
sense.
was gonna ask, like, what's the range, but I guess it's kind of hard to pinpoint that.
yes,
So,
yeah. So I think like I've had brides who they'll come down from Seattle and they're quoted $2,500 for alterations, and then I will provide the same work for like 1,400, just
Yeah.
because there's a difference in price. If you are in, a smaller town, I don't know. I mean, it really is so specific to your area. So it's totally fine to ask for quotes before you even start
The
shopping, like
process. That makes
shopping for the
sense.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you can reach out to a local tailor or seamstress and be like, I just want to make sure I budget enough. What is your average ticket? So my
Mm-hmm.
average ticket in Olympia is like 950 to 1150.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what I'm telling brides who ask that kind of question. I actually have that on my website too, so that they just
hmm
know this, these kind of alterations would cost this much. But don't feel embarrassed to ask because you got to start somewhere. You need to start your budget
Yeah.
somewhere, or you can just stock, local seamstresses and they should have some type of pricing on their website because that's such a big part of your budget. And when you are surprised by the tax and the accessories and the alterations, it's like, what? But if you walk into it and you're like, I knew what this was going to be, so I already put aside this much money, then it's like, there's no sticker shock. You're
Yeah.
ready.
Well,
Mhm.
no, and that makes sense. It's like with anything in life, and I'm sure in Manhattan, your 950 to
hmm
1100
Yeah,
is going to be,
bottom of the barrel.
yeah, 25 to 35. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, a lot of that is just based on where you are.
Right, right.
Yeah, and that's like, but that's with anything in life,
Yeah.
around here. You can go like everything. Your Washington, I think your sales tax is not as bad as it is here in California, but our sales tax is out of control with
Yeah, what
every
is yours now?
oh god, we're at 11 or 12 or something, like
Okay, I think we're at 9.6.
yeah, I mean but then also it's our gas,
Love it. Oh,
you know. So we in Cal
6.18,
yeah, yeah.
6.18 a gallon.
Is that what yours is? Oh my
Yes.
god. Yeah. But in California we have $1 or something just in tax that goes to fix the roads and all, but we don't have toll roads like they do in others,
And the
so
East Coast, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So
hmm
it all is different on how it gets,
You
packaged and,
know.
done up. So
Yeah, so ask questions, like, there's no shame in that, and just like you would with any other vendor, you know what I'm saying? Just
yeah.
asking is totally fine. Now, are you seeing a trend in, like, or a rise in the trend of, like, 2 outfits happening?
Yes.
Okay, I love
Sometimes
it. I love
three. Sometimes three. Because
Yeah, viewers
Like
if
a
it's
Yeah.
like
yeah,
they'll
they're
have like
leaving
a
in an
traditional
outfit
dress that they'll be wearing for their culture, and then typically like a little mini dress, for
for
reception for
dancing.
dancing. So sometimes we had a bride 2 weekends ago who had three dress changes in the
Wow.
evening.
So
So
I'm seeing, probably like 40% of my brides now have 2 dresses.
Mm.
Whereas even just a few years ago, it was like, "What? You have a reception dress? Like, that's so cool." And now it's like, "Okay, just add it to the list." I have a bride who loves vintage gowns, and so she has 1 new dress and then 2 vintage gowns that we're, like,
wow.
making up for. So I think one of them will be her rehearsal gown, and then
Mm.
ceremony receptions. You
Hmm.
can bust all them out and get pictures of all of them. But I love this trend. And if you are torn, because Kevin, you kind of alluded to this, like, how do you narrow it down? If you are torn, you can like put put a bigger investment into a quality like ceremony dress or the dress that you think is
Mhm.
going to be like, have the most photos taken of it.
Yeah.
And then your little party dress, it doesn't need to be a cocktail dress. It can still be a
Yeah.
long gown or it could just be the opposite style. So one of my brides now, Her ceremony gown is this beautiful Mikado ball gown, and it's like so elegant. It has this like cat eye neckline. It's so beautiful. And then she bought a consignment gown that is has like an illusion top, like corset top, lots of lace on it. Had a long train. We just cut off the train, so it's just going to be the same length all the way around, and it's still a floor length gown, but it's so different than the ceremony dress. And she got it for like $250 or something. So she
Oh, wow.
was
You can't beat
willing
that.
to, yeah. She's like, let's just get a second look in here,
Yeah. Well, and
So play up to
we're
that
out,
trend.
well, I can say, and we're out in like wine country where we are, and then also there's a lot of golf courses. So when these, couples are out doing their photos, they're out in agriculture. We even have some barns around here.
Oh yeah.
So the dress is dragging in the dirt and all that
Yep.
and getting trashed. And some of them don't want to spend, $4, $5, $10,000 on a dress and then have it get trashed. So that's
Right.
why I think some of them are wearing them for the ceremony and then moving into something for the reception. And then
Mhm.
even I'm starting to see even like getaway, the couples that are wanting to do some
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
getaway, they're having fun with the getaway outfits as well.
hmm
So
Yeah. So it's like there's a lot more freedom than there was even like 5-10 years ago to just
yeah,
do what you want,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
I love.
Do
I'm a little
So
you
passionate though.
do you see a lot of brides or couples tend to take on more outside opinion than they should? Like when they're shopping with family or friends, or do they tend to pretty much know what they want and stick with what they really love?
Yeah, I even when they come in for alterations, I'm like, could you have left that sister at home? You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
no, makes
I think
sense.
it's like that fear of like hurting people's feelings, so they're
totally.
included. And yeah, that can be difficult to navigate because at at the end of the day too, I think if a bride doesn't have that confidence in what she wants or how she wants to feel or confidence in herself, it just makes it for a really difficult process because she's listening to everybody else's opinions. She's also having a really hard time with how the dress is fitting because there's always going to be something not perfect, and
Yeah.
that's going to be the biggest voice in her head. So I think the more that you can tell yourself that everybody at your wedding wants to celebrate you. Like they want
Hmm.
to celebrate you and your love story, and they're here for the party, they're here for the dinner. Like it's if you invited the right people, nobody's going to be scrutinizing anything about your dress or how your arms look or how your armpits look or if you have like cellulite showing. Like nobody cares. And I wish that brides could grasp that. Like your fiance definitely doesn't care. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and your photographer, they are photographers are, again, I need a vow renewal, okay? Because so many things have changed since I got married.
Yeah.
Photographers now are so skilled at not just editing, okay, but like posing you and capturing these
Mhm.
beautiful candid moments so that you feel like your most beautiful self. So I wish that couples knew that more, that like you are gonna just enjoy your day so much you're not even gonna care about that arm, whatever, the arm flab or whatever. Like
Hmm.
your photos are gonna be so much more beautiful than you could imagine because your photographer is a professional and they know how to make you look good, right? So don't worry about that kind of stuff. That's what I would love to have couples walk away with from this episode.
Yeah. If you're getting married in California's Bay Area or Tri Valley and you're looking for wedding event services, we'd love to help. At Fantasy Sound, we offer DJ, lighting and decor, photo booth, and coordination services to bring your wedding vision to life. From your ceremony to your last dance, we're here to make your day seamless, fun, and unforgettable. Let us make your fantasy a reality. Go to fantasysound.com for more information. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So we've said yes to the dress, and
Mhm.
then, it's gotten here in time. Now we need to get the alterations taken care of. What's that
Yes.
process look like? How
Okay.
long is it? Is there a timeline involved and all that?
Oh, yeah. And,
Okay.
we already kind of skipped over the first step of the timeline. So right
Oh,
after you take the picture with your say yes to the dress sign, that's
yeah.
when you contact your seamstress.
Okay.
So even though the sewing doesn't begin until like 3 months before the wedding, you want to make sure that you are on the books with a quality
Oh,
bridal seamstress. And we book out like 9 months to a year in advance, just like your photographers and your venues and your caterers do. So that's what I'm running into a lot this summer is brides who are just kind of thinking, oh, I thought that I just contacted you like 12
yeah,
weeks before the wedding. And at that point, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, we're so booked. So as soon as you place the order for your dress, book your seamstress. And that
yeah.
process is going to look different based on who you book with. But most bridal seamstresses do require a down payment. That'll be like anything from 50% of the ticket to, $50 to put down just to reserve your spot. Um, so you can start doing your research by number one, starting with who's on the bridal shop's referral list. They're going to have a list of seamstresses that they've already worked with that they trust. I would start there, check out Google reviews, look on Instagram. You want to think about like this seamstress is going to be who you're changing in front of. You're going to have like
Mhm.
multiple appointments with this person. You're going to get kind of close. So you do wanna have a good, rapport with them and feel like you can trust them. So do your
Yeah, makes
research.
sense.
Yeah. And
It's
just
like
make
going
sure.
to a doctor. You got to be vulnerable and you got to be there,
Exactly. We
Yeah,
see, we smell everything, right? So you just want
yeah.
to make sure you had a good friend there. So I get on the books, and if you can take, which I'm sure all these brides are already doing that, take pictures of yourself in the dress because
Hmm.
most bridal seamstresses do require, like I do in my inquiry form, I require photos of the bride in the gown so that I can assess, like, okay, do we have time
Mm.
for this
Hmm.
particular dress? Like, I'm looking at the hem. How many hours is that going to take? This needs tweaking or whatever, just make sure you have some of those photos ready to go. When you're ordering your dress, and again, a skilled bridal stylist already knows this, so most likely you're already in good hands, but you want to order the dress size based on like the widest point of your body. So
Hmm.
most of us, we're not equal, right? So it's like
Yeah, that's very
your top
true.
half is bigger than your bottom half or vice versa. I am like 2 sizes different, if I'm
Mhm.
ordering a dress. So don't worry about the number. Unfortunately, bridal gown size numbers are notoriously horrible. Like if
Yeah.
you
Mm.
if you're like a size 8 in streetwear, you're going to be a size 12 probably in wedding
Oh,
gowns, and
wow. That's a
there's
big
nothing wrong with
difference.
you. It is, and it's kind of like, ouch, couldn't we have like gone reverse and like made ourselves feel a little better and gone
Or,
smaller?
yeah,
Yes.
-2.
Exactly. So just go into that experience knowing the number might be a little bit higher than you anticipate, and that's normal. We all hate it, but that's just the way it is. And your stylist is going to order based again on your widest point. So if you're like, wait, I feel like I'm a 4, but your hips are measuring at an 8, they're going to order the size 8. So your alterations will be easier to complete that way because it's easier to take a dress in than it is to like
That makes
let it
sense.
out. And then you're working with that
Mm.
pressure of like, oh my gosh, what if like I don't lose the weight that I thought I was going to lose or whatever. So just go with that widest point, and that is normal. And it is also very normal for some part of the dress to just be so big, whether it's your hem or like the bust cups are like out of proportion, like your straps are so long. That's normal. And that's what alterations are for. So
Yeah,
when it
and
comes to
I
ordering,
feel
yeah.
like everyone's on a fitness journey when they're going through this process too, so, like you said, if they don't make it, you gotta have room to, work with,
Right.
I guess, yeah.
Yes. That's actually
Yeah.
a great point too. GLP-1s are so common and I love it now because at least we're talking about it. I remember there was a time when it
Mhm.
was like taboo. We couldn't really talk about like,
Mhm.
health journeys or where you're going to be. And that would obviously affect alterations. So
Mhm.
now it's like we can just talk about it and it makes it a lot easier for seamstresses to plan. If you are planning on significant weight shift, or if you're pregnant, you become pregnant during your engagement, or if you have some kind of hormonal situation where your weight just varies, which
Fluctuates, yeah.
again, yeah, it is more common than you think. Just communicate with your seamstress and we will build a specific timeline for you. So instead of starting like 14 weeks in advance, we'd probably start like 6 weeks in advance and really have
Mhm.
all your alterations be completed as close to the wedding date as possible so that it's like exactly where your body is going to be on your wedding day.
Love
So
it.
just let us know and then we'll make it work. But we got to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're coming up on time. So,
Mhm.
one last super question here, which we're gonna this will be your mic drop moment, I think.
Oh.
What's the one thing you wish every couple bride knew before they started shopping for their wedding dress?
I already touched on this, and now I feel like I'm going to cry talking about it, but
Oh,
your people already know how beautiful you are.
yeah.
So you have to go into this process really believing that, because that will change how you experience everything from trying the dresses on to getting measured to having the dress ordered for you, like, and looking at the size or your numbers or whatever. You are throwing a party for people who love you, and you're
Yeah.
marrying the love of your life, and they love
Who
every
loves
part
you?
of you.
Yeah, exactly.
And just do whatever you can to protect yourself from that perfectionism that we all feel. I wish every bride knew that almost everyone I work with, every client has the same insecurities. Like, we're all like
Mm.
the same. You know what I mean? Like, we all kind of like hate the same parts about
Yeah.
us. And I hate that
Yeah.
for clients. I wish that they knew that it's like you are the only one looking at yourself like that. Like, you're the only one
Yeah.
with that critical eye. So I
And it
just, yeah.
probably doesn't matter what shape, size you are or
Yeah.
any of that. Yeah, it just everyone has the same
Mhm.
worries and all that. So that's great
Yeah.
advice. That's
Yeah.
amazing advice. All right. So now that we've gotten, hopefully we get you a tissue here and get you in a
Yeah,
better
that was
shape.
so
So
sweet, but it's so
yeah,
true.
yeah.
Everyone's their worst critic, so.
So,
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
but
So good
Nate
luck
and
with
Nate,
dress shopping. And then if you want any specific tips, or if like you're in the middle of it and you're like, here's a picture. Help me, Nadine. I'm on Instagram at Secrets of a Bridal Seamstress. That's my Instagram handle. I also have members around the country. If you're looking for a bridal seamstress in your area, I'd love to help narrow the scope for
refer
you.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
You did my job for me. You
Well,
answered all the questions. And we'll have all of Nadine's information. That's why you're a podcast host too. You probably know what to do.
Yes.
But
She knows
anyway,
the drill.
we'll have all of Nadine's information in the show notes for everyone. And can't thank you enough, Nadine, for all your helpful information. I feel like I'm more qualified to go buy a dress now. I don't know about
and
August,
bustle.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, the bustle, that's the thing that drives me nuts. It's just like sometimes, and then it's like, you got to match this color with that color, or they
Oh,
get
yeah.
so
Yeah.
creative
Ooh,
with these things. But sometimes there's like 8 to 10 steps, and I'm like, that is,
no.
I-
You had a reception to get to. You know what I'm
we're
saying?
right, and they're there, and they're all arguing, the sisters and the mom, and it's a whole thing, and it's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, or the other worst part is that the people that know how to bustle get a little tipsy during cocktail hour, and now they're like
That's
fumbling,
always what
bumbling.
happens. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. So I usually make a video at the final fitting with my brides. So I
I love a
record
good
through the
video.
bustle and I say, there's no drinking till the bustle's
yeah.
up. Okay.
Yeah. No, but it's funny you say that, because many times I've seen the mom out. Well, this is the video. This is what the girl said. And then the sisters are like arguing, and it's just like, oh my God, there should be
Oh,
one
no.
person in charge of this and one person that knows what they're doing. Anyway,
Oh, that's so funny.
I would say that's the worst part of the wedding, getting the bride bustled. So
I just
Only if it's bad, but like, I
yes,
mean,
that's true. Yeah, if it's
it's not
hard.
that often. I mean, one time it did take me like, I'm not even kidding, 30 minutes for us to figure it out, because
Oh,
they
Yeah.
were
yeah.
like,
But then
we
it's
can't
so
find the
good.
video and everyone's drunk and like there's a billion little
Oh, no,
loopies.
no,
and
Opinions and and all
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah,
then
that
there's
is,
nothing.
you start sweating.
Yeah, but there's
Mhm.
nothing worse than there's like these 2 hooks and then they break because it's too much weight or too much whatever.
Rookie mistake. Rookie
Yeah.
mistake. Yes.
Yeah.
Oof.
So there's got to be a good happy medium in there. And anyway, don't be
Yeah.
drunk. So, all right,
Nope.
Nadine, we can't thank you enough as we go down the rabbit hole of bustles and all that good stuff. The thing Kevin worries about the most when it comes to a wedding dress. So, but
Exactly.
anyway, all right, folks,
Thank
we
you.
can't thank you enough for listening to another episode of Now That I'm Engaged, How Do We Get Married? Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you're out there. And don't forget, if you have stories or questions, so please send them to podcast@fantasysound.com. Folks, thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
To our listeners, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Now That I'm Engaged, How Do I Get Married podcast.
Brought to you by Fantasy Sound Event Services.
I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode. Please get in touch with me or August if you have any topic you would like us to cover.
Or if you're struggling with your wedding planning, please be sure to submit a question to podcast@fantasysound.com.
I encourage you to check out our other episodes on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast. And if you're a fan, we'd love if you would subscribe to the podcast and leave a review.
It helps others find our podcast so that they can learn from our guests too. And to everybody listening,
Happy wedding planning!